You're dealing with someone from India.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think they're pretty nice.
Are we
When
ready?
you don't have
We are
time to go
ready.
buy dog food.
Hi, everybody.
that's funny.
For those of you
It's
who
pretty
know me, I'm
nice.
Jeff Lowe. And for those who are new, hi. I haven't really got that much new to say, except that whatever we're going to do, you're going to get a holder, inexpensive, a card holder, because it's important. Um, my whole there was a question this morning on color. What are the colors for the future? Well, white and gray are in for a while, but you can certainly change what you add to white and gray. And hello,
Hey there, buddy.
how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Great seeing
Good
you.
to see you.
Oh, I left my phone in the car. Darn it.
Do you want me to run out and grab it?
Yeah,
What do
but you
you-
need my key. I wanted to show you examples. I didn't bring all the photographs this time.
Oh,
It's a
It's
Honda, right?
Honda Accord hybrid. It's in the visitor area at the very end. Sorry.
No problem.
And I put the phone in front of my seat on the floor.
Okay.
I brought examples of how this color and how industries gang up on us. And we get the idea that that's the color. And just this morning, I went through my pictures that I put on Instagram, and I found 5 examples. So I downloaded them so that I could show them to you, and I left it in the car because I was afraid I'd get a phone call. Now, the one color that's getting bigger and bigger, and I showed you this the last time, is not a color that I like. I'm just showing you a color. This is what they're pushing.
what is the name of the color for the last one?
The last one is DE5116 Rouge.
I thought it looked like mauve, or maybe not. Maybe it's apricot or orange.
No. These are really, this is like an elderly lady
Floral.
when she puts on rouge.
Oh, that's the color of mine.
But these colors can be worked in with colors that you and I might like much better. Now, if this was tied in with jade green and just a touch of this, or a teal blue, if you know what teal is, similar to the shirt, then it looks way different. Reduce the amount of this, so forth. But that color is going to be pushed in homes, in shoes, in chairs, whatever you see, and it's just a big color. The other big movement is 2 colors, and they're bringing back blue and green in
Good.
all variations of blues and greens. So for those of you who wanted to know about color, there it goes. And what my aim was, is to give a different perspective on how to sell a house than how the real estate market would normally go about doing it. And my way is simply because I'm a dummy and I use these ideas that I had and it worked. If you look online for a source for fig candles, F-I-G, I researched it because it had an effect on me, and I found out fig, the scent of fig candles, sends off endorphins that go into the head. And what it does is it makes you very mellow and happy. It's almost like weed, I guess, that you just get a little silly. And I remember, thanks so much.
Does it make you buy luxury items?
No, what it does is, my daughter got it in France. She got it in spray form and in candle form. And what it did is it made me not want to leave the house when I had appointments. And I just, oh, it's so nice here. Okay. So I had a business meeting, and it was a very important meeting. Luckily, it didn't go through the whole deal because they're out of business. But I was to make a presentation and they said 30 minutes. Well, it was a hard thing to do in 30 minutes because they're running late. I said, you don't mind if I spray, do you? I sprayed. And after 30 minutes, I said, well, I guess time is up. You'd want me to leave. Oh, no, stay. And they started asking questions. An hour and 15 minutes I was there instead of 30 minutes. I knew what happened, but I then used it. My daughter and former son-in-law wanted to sell their house. And there it was, and they had to go to California. Dad, would you watch the house and open it for the realtors? Sure. I did something else. I got the spray, sprayed the house. While I was there, I put on the candle. The house smelled when you came in. Oh, what a great smell. Do you know that scent goes in the brain and people don't know why, but it's one of the things to keep people longer at that house or makes a more conducive climate for wanting to stay. And that is the object. Well, you know, dear, if we just change that bathroom and the kitchen counters, the house isn't bad because you're just mellower. So
It's like taking a happy pill.
it is. And I have to tell you, it works because I did it and it worked. And my daughter said, this house has been up for 5 weeks. How, I wonder why it sold so fast. It was that. I have one fake candle, and when I put that on, people don't want to leave.
Where'd you get yours?
I have mine for my daughter.
Okay.
She bought a whole slew.
So
But this
you should
isn't.
sell them too at your open house.
Yeah. This is pistachio ice cream. I only have it lit once. But another trick is to put in scents, like a candle in the kitchen that has the smell of chocolate chip cookies. It's just another thing. People don't know that we're playing with them, with their senses. And it's important. You go into a cold house, you don't know anything, you look around, there's nothing that
Pumpkin pie,
psychologically
they have those.
makes you want to stay, makes you want, I don't know why I'm hungry for cookies, you know? And then you see, oh, this is the realtor's name, and a little card, have some.
I was in an open house a couple weekends ago, and the main room, he had set it up kind of like a movie room. So he had a movie playing, like a Disney movie. But on the coffee table, he had this great big bowl full of like gumballs and licorice and popcorn, whatever you'd have if you were watching
It's
movies.
a great.
And it just gave you that whole feeling of, oh, I could sit down here and watch a movie. Like, this is awesome.
I'm going to
But
tell
it just
you,
made it feel more like home and
I
what
don't
you would do. or
go and
want.
look at houses much. But now that the Ritz has 2 models, I went. They're not giving them away at $3 million starting price at all.
No.
But the models inside, for my taste, the first house is perfect. Would I want all the filigree in certain areas? No, but basically the upholstery and the layout and the kitchen and the backsplash is so good. I'm looking for that backsplash tile. It's just fantastic, and it's a lesson in really great design. I don't know who did it. I think she's on Marshall Way or someplace. Someone said something. It's really perfect house. It's beautifully done. The other thing I learned from the second house is negative edge pools that are 4-sided. That I'd never seen. I don't know how you get in.
A little bit then?
No,
How do they do that?
it just looks
'Cause a lot of
negative
stuff
edge
can't-
and
Can't go right up to it then.
Are you talking about Azure, the development, the shade development in the back of that property? Or the,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We went there last
Well,
year.
we toured it as a hard hat tour, so it
Yeah.
wasn't all completely finished. Like,
It's
I
all
think-
been finished and you should see it. It has the
Yeah.
stupidest pool you
But you're
ever
right, we
want.
should go back now
Yeah.
that it's done.
It's a pool that you can't swim. a little pool here, and it goes on between stepping
Oh,
stones
yeah.
and plants, and
Yes, I remember that.
where can you do a lap?
Right.
Mhm.
Well, I'm done. But I'm just telling you, it should be seen. And there was one thing that got me laughing. The designer did what I am saying, but she did it with clothespins in the laundry area. She has a huge basket with miniature clothespins. Well, I don't know what you're going to hang up in there, but it's funny. I took it as humor. So I would recommend you seeing those houses again. They are wonderfully done. Um, I have brought these samples to you to, again, that someplace in the house where you put business cards. I brought lilies because I just got it at Trader Joe's. Not a fortune, but always take off the clipping. That's the
Yeah.
only thing bad with lilies. They have those orange stubs in them,
Yeah.
and they're dirty.
Casablanca lilies have the most beautiful fragrance.
Yes, they really do. But you can take a single rose, if you can find a place where you can buy a single rose. You usually have to buy a dozen. So you know what you do? You get cheap bud vases, not like this, but thinner, so they don't fall over,
Yeah.
and put them in different places. Suddenly there's a white rose in the bathroom, next to the bed, next to the guest room. It's suddenly, if you don't see one, you see it in another area. Or if someone's very astute, there are white roses all over this house. It's just something that is living in a dead space.
Okay.
And that's important, how to enliven and enrich the whole experience.
So do you take them home with you?
Yeah. Your home is cooler than a model.
Oh, I'm talking about when you're doing an open house, not for a new home.
Yeah, for a new home,
Not for a new home. When you're just doing an open house, do you
bring in the,
bring in all your stuff and take it back home
Yeah.
with you?
mhm,
Okay.
it's yours.
Yeah.
But, and I brought the M&Ms, and help yourself, please.
Oh, no, you
I'm not
don't.
touching them.
I'll have to just line up. Thank you.
And the whole idea is that if you buy candies with wrappers, you'll end up with wrappers all over.
Yeah, just like this.
Yeah. And then it messes up your open house. I just bring something that, it's a little thing. And especially if a man is with the wife and he's meandering one way and she's looking how much closet space there is, and he finds the M&Ms, honey, I like this house. And they don't know why they like it. Because many people, it's just another house, another house, another house. But you're adding fuel to the whole thing of something that tastes good, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
it makes things positive.
And you can hear them, what you just did when you got some, it's louder than what you think, and you can hear it across the house because it's usually pretty quiet. And it's funny, the people who get them and they walk back out, they're just more jolly. It's just amazing how much more jolly they are.
Your problem is that with the heat, it's hard to take them home, but you have to find a way of doing that.
Yeah.
I had friends who were giving a party for no reason. Very, very wealthy people. They owned a hotel in Jerusalem. They owned a hotel in Puerto Rico. And she said, Jeff, would you just come and help me for an hour? So I came over for an hour, and she said, what color tents do I get? I don't want it to look like a wedding, because everyone wonders why we're doing it. We're just doing a big party. So the only thing we could get was red and white. I said, okay, I'll fix you. So there were red and white tents, and I said, just do red geraniums. And all the flowers and the food was tilted in garden baskets, those wooden crates that geraniums come in and all the plants. I just got those from the nursery, filled a section with white petunias, another section with hors d'oeuvres were nicely lined,
Mhm.
then red geraniums, and it was just,
Color.
so then I spread a rumor. I bet you're wondering what the occasion is, why they're having this big party. They have just bought the rights to Colonel Sanders, and they're going kosher. And it was a joke. It spread through the whole party, and they would come up, congratulations, and they knew it was
She killed
me.
you.
That's funny.
But they had a living room from inside from outside, everyone could look in the living room, and it was a black lacquered Parsons table. And I took a huge lucite fruit bowl, a salad bowl, and filled it with pounds and pounds of M&Ms. I think at that it was peanut M&Ms. I don't remember that. And you'd watch the attorneys, the judges, all these people, they would sneak the M&Ms, put them in the pocket, down the hatch. It was funny. And it's a way for you to have some more fun with selling a house.
Mhm.
How am I going to get to the client that I don't know mentally? And you don't have to do it all, but here are some areas that help. Have you seen as many balloons tied to strings as you used to?
No.
No.
No, because it's not, it just
The
gets
heat
tangled
will
up.
just, the heat will alone just.
But there are those balloons you can buy that are blown up on sticks that
Oh,
don't deflate, that the car dealers are all using.
oh.
So if there's a color that your firm has or that you have, and you stick those in the ground with your, because they come with different size stems. I mean, 5-foot stems, 8-foot stems, and you put it in your car and have that balloon, it's, no one else is doing it anymore.
Yeah.
And now it's just another thing. The other day, I also saw a stick and it caught my attention. It was a piece of fabric cut like a long triangle, and it was blowing in the wind and it was red and it was a man selling a house and it looked masculine. And it was just, that's different. It caught my eye.
Or you could buy the little American flags for give them out for 4th of July.
Well, for 4th of July, sure. But it also looks like a memorial.
Oh.
Mm.
Memorial Day and so forth. If I see a flag, if it isn't,
Mhm.
Right.
but
Because there's a car dealership in Alabama that gives away a shotgun, an American flag, and with
Bottle of whiskey.
no, a
Hot
shotgun,
dog.
a shotgun,
Just
a
screaming
shotgun,
over here, sorry.
an American flag, and when you buy a car.
A real gun?
Yeah. In Alabama, I saw it on
Oh,
Facebook.
man.
and I wanted to share something with you. In a week or week and a half, my new business goes online that I've worked a year and a half in doing the art. And I find that times have changed so that I'm glad I'm not in the card business, which I was. I worked with a major company, a line of greeting cards that won the award from InStyle magazine as the best card line in English-speaking countries.
Wow.
So in Canada, in England, and here, and I don't know where else, Australia it was sold. And they're out of business now. Like fur coats, I wouldn't want to be in that business, right?
Right.
So art, how many galleries are opening? Have you seen a lot of openings of galleries? No. Well, where are you going to get your art? There's people still want something on their wall. So I've done something different. So I'm going to give you, I brought business cards. I never do this. They're brand new. And here's my new business. And you won't see anything. Oh,
I'm just gonna pass them around this way.
Aren't you popular?
Damn group texts.
and please
Yeah, I
feel the
know.
card.
7 in the morning. Ding, ding, ding.
Thank you.
You need one?
Nice job.
No, art shop. Now, I could have come up with a fancy name, The whole idea is it's a shop to buy art,
That's neat.
period. And
Online.
it will be online,
Mhm.
and we have yet to test it. We're going to buy one piece to see that all the mechanisms work. And it's been 6 months of waiting for the girl who I finally hired to do the site, but her fiance had emergency spinal surgery, and they go through the neck,
Mm.
and it didn't go right, and it had to go. So it was delay after delay. I've learned patience, and but
So it's not a live gallery then, just.
it's not a live
Where are you
gallery.
getting your paintings? Like what?
I'm
is it?
doing them. I did them all.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
you're
A year and a half. And it
Wow.
was my way of healing from what's going on in Washington and the crudeness and so forth. So it's called, this first collection is called United Statement. And I have done the states individually in watercolor,
Mm.
which is not a good material because it fades. So the watercolors that I've done are all photographed by computer digitized and put on canvas, and a covering to it, a sealer that it won't fade.
That's good.
Then it's wrapped around a custom deep frame. So what you're buying is 15 by 15 inches. And what it is, are you hard to buy for? No,
You can buy anything you want.
I can get you anything. But there are things that, okay, so you're easy. Who's hard to buy for? Okay, where were you born?
Flint, Michigan.
Oh, I've been to Flint, Michigan with a triangle. The building, I remember as a kid, the main street went this way and then it went,
Yes.
see? And so it was like a Flint, and how I met my memory. I was 7
Wow, and you still remember.
and I'm not, well, I'm 78.
It is like a
so,
wishbone. You have to decide
yeah.
which way.
Yeah. So what if someone gave you the state of Michigan? And then you figure, well, where have you lived other than Michigan? What states are important? So you start collecting and making your own statement on the wall. You can do it as a checkerboard, or you can add things, or you don't do the states at all. I've done 12 hearts. Each heart reminds you of a birthstone, from ruby to amethyst to aquamarine, pearl, so forth. No one has to know who are most important in your life, but you put up the hearts of those birthstones.
Mhm.
And it means something about your statement. And there are other things that I've done that you can collect. And everything is $250. Well, my work goes from 500 by other art to 50,000. And I had nothing to do with that. That was by the galleries. When your shows sell, they can mark it up, 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 up. And I went back to Dallas for a second show, and I overheard someone say something before they stabbed me in my back and said, oh, we love his work, but we can't afford it anymore. And you have to know, I'm the least greedy person there's going. And I had nothing to do with that. So at the time, what I did, and that was the late 80s, 90s, I started a new art line. And I put it so that you could put it in a suitcase. You didn't have to pack it. You didn't complain about anything. And it was environmentally good. And it was called Maze. And it was a $29 million a year company in Tempe, Arizona. And until I had what they thought was a stroke, and they brought in a gal from California to run all that I was running, and the stores bought, just like, well, everything sells out, nothing sells. It didn't sell at all. So we lost the company. I had to sell it. And So this is a whole thing that on an American statement on who you are and what you are.
I like
And it's
that.
not if you're a blue state or a red state, it's your state.
I like that. Do you do custom work?
I will do custom,
For
yes.
cer-
I have to tell you, this is not nice because we live in a red state, but I haven't done Arizona yet and I haven't done the red states yet.
Mhm,
It's my healing process too, to love again.
mhm.
I don't talk to my neighbors. So when you said put a flag out, that's now has a bad connotation too.
Mm.
So I did this to heal
That's
and I'm
nice.
sharing it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jeff. That's very cool. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, if you have questions, please ask me. I do think that I want to show these proof of what I was saying.
We can go to a website if you like, right here. Unless you.
Oh, you got it on my screen?
Or we can pull anything up that you like.
Well, it's Jeff Flow 3, and that's my Instagram.
Okay.
But it's not on there. It's on the things that I have not posted yet. So
Okay.
Where,
I'll plug
where
this.
do you see kitchens going if everyone's tired of the white cabinets?
Yeah.
Where do you see kitchens going
what?
if everyone gets tired of the white cabinets?
Well, you can't get tired with white because if you add a color that you like, I had a gentleman at Optima, and I did a 4-bedroom place there last year. And he only colors I could use were white. He wanted to look like Miami, and it was all white. And I brought in a platinum gray white sofa and a little bit of beige. So there was beige and a little gray. And then I brought in bright orange and bright red. If it's just napkins in a napkin thing. If it was 3 lights, and I don't usually do hanging lights because my philosophy is God said, let there be light. He did not say, let there be lighting fixtures. So I don't put in lighting fixtures. I always hit my head on them. But he wanted hanging fixtures, and I got these orange fixtures and orange chairs. But to counteract that, I got a great big bowl of really good apples, fake apples. You have to know as a bachelor, there were 3 things in his refrigerator, and everyone lives differently, and it opens your eyes. So this is a picture this morning, if you want to watch. Isn't it one of these colors?
Yep.
Pretty. So you say start with sort of a take a canvas type color and then.
Yes, and if you like things, let's say, that are Mexican, and you can get, I did this once, fake fruit in paper mache in brilliant colors, and bring out the avocados, do just avocados, do just lemons, so suddenly the kitchen is yellow and white, and have towels that are gray, or, white is an empty canvas, you can do anything.
But I'm starting to hear that from clients. Like every house we see, they're like, more white cabinets, more white cabinets. You know what I mean? Because when something gets overdone, all of a sudden people are like, okay, done.
But that's in everything, that we
Yeah.
just have those fads.
Mhm.
So
I
my
love white.
recommendation
I do
would be that.
too, but I just, you start to see so much of it that it's not unique
One,
anymore. It's not,
thing is to bring in a light wood or dark
Warm
wood
it up.
with the white only on the bottom cabinets. Just have the doors replaced on the bottom. Then you have a different accent.
And I'm starting to see like no upper cabinets. And I think
Pardon?
no upper cabinets. I think that looks really good.
Upper cabinets are getting passé
Yeah,
unless
yeah.
you have a lot of stuff.
Let's see your ladder.
Can I ask you a question on color and consistency?
More like
As far as, let's
clothing
say,
shelves.
you've got the same wood floors throughout the home and the same cabinets throughout the home. do you keep your color selection? So if you're doing blues and greens in your kitchen, do you kind of do blues and greens throughout the rest of the home, or can you?
You can
Go
do
with-
anything you want, but if you have a blue and green kitchen, you might see pillows are a wonderful way of changing the living room. And I recommend choosing 4 different seasons of colors. So if you come back from traveling and you love to travel, your home should be so great that you put out pillows, and it's been in the Caribbean, you put Caribbean for spring, or spring colors, or summer colors, blue and yellow, like Swedish flags. To me, that's summer, because I was in summer in Sweden, and you go in a boat from the islands and pick raspberries and strawberries, wild strawberries. So that's just my personal thing. But on my line, I'm doing 4 hearts for the seasons, because everyone has a season that they love, or 2 seasons that are a favorite. So that's something else that you can put on the wall, and suddenly it's your statement. Or you all pitch in and know so-and-so in the office is retiring, or this and that. Give them their state. It's important. And I've done them working with NASA and getting NASA maps and geological maps, so I could see. One state that floored me was Oregon. I've been to Oregon. I didn't know that most of the state does not have trees. It's arid. So that was interesting. But to answer your question, there are no given rules. It's a home. But if you do like blues and greens, also play with, do you just like royal blue and emerald green together, which is good? Or do you like lime green and another color together? An aqua with a lime green. That's still blues and greens, but you might soften it in a bedroom, unless if it's a man. You know, it's very funny. You find men who like to go in their bedroom that it looks like their wife is there. Soft, feminine. Because it's, I don't know.
Orman Cuzzy.
Yeah.
So for color palettes, what do you think would be a good color choices for the next 5 years? See anything that's like really striking, like a bright color, or neons, or?
No, color is coming back. But this and blues and greens are what I know of. I mean, this is such a big push that you have no idea.
Can you hold this up just
Thank you so much.
So you would call that salmon?
It's sort of a salmony color.
Great. Interesting. Cool. I saw Sumawaya is getting another renovation. That was one of your restaurants, right?
Mm-hmm. It is getting a renovation.
Yeah, but it's only been open for a couple of years, right?
Mm-hmm. Has been very neglected. The floors were terrible. I
Really?
went in there once.
Yeah.
But
What is it, top 10 restaurant, or what was the award it got last year? One of the top 10 best restaurants
Mhm.
like in the world or something like that. United States, world.
country, yeah. Mhm.
Country.
From, what's that magazine, the travel,
Condé Nast.
Condé Nast, yeah. And
You just wonder how many great restaurants are sitting out there that are poorly designed that nobody would have any reason to talk about other than they had good food. I think the experience is so much a part of it.
I don't know if you know this, but Christopher is building a new 360-degree restaurant next to the Wrigley Mansion.
Oh,
Now
is it?
he's dating the owner of the Wrigley Mansion. He's the chef
Okay.
for the Wrigley Mansion, so he's going to have his own restaurant with gorgeous views of Camelback Mountain.
Christopher Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And you know about
right up-
Nobu coming,
No.
No?
the famous Japanese restaurant that, who's the actor? Who's part owner? Not Pacino, his friend, De Niro.
Right.
Where's that going to be?
It might be in the new hotel by Fashion Square, the new, I was just told yesterday,
Over by Ocean 44.
on the other side, on the whole empty lot.
Oh, Okay.
I
I
believe,
thought Nobu was already in town.
are they?
I think so. I thought they had someplace downtown or something.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if it's a part of it or not.
Yeah. Lots going on there.
I mean, there's stuff opens up and closes all the time. Who knows? We'll see.
Very
who
funny.
sticks around.
Nobu, I went to Nobu in Tokyo. I was taken there by my son. The famous man who owns it, the chef, came by the table and was, well, I didn't know he really knew my son, and then joined us. And I'm thinking, wow,
Pretty cool.
that was cool.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know me probably without my son being there, but
Is this the one that has like 13 seats or something like that?
No.
It's not big.
no, it's larger than that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, we went to one place that was so small, and I hated to ask the chef to make another one of what I had. It was the greatest thing I've ever had.
Mhm.
His assistant chef takes a sharp knife and a carrot. Now the carrot is about so big around, and he starts peeling that carrot paper thin like this,
Wow.
just rolling it. And then you think by doing that, they're going to make spirals or something. He starts chopping it, but a certain way. Then they flash fry that and they play with it, the master chef, in the bowl with huge chopsticks, and it becomes a nest.
Wow.
And he puts 3 things in it. Those carrots are sweet like honey.
Mm.
I saw the other things that were coming, and those were not big on my list of
Must
food
be.
that I thought I could devour. So I was very careful to like them. Another basket. What do you have behind you?
I was trying to pull up your Instagram here, but it's, do you know if is it Instagram.com/Cheflo3?
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think of this trend of restaurants having really quirky names like Sip and Slosh and Soup and like
It's not a problem if they're good.
Yeah.
See? Again, another picture this morning.
That's pretty beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Do you know what the animal is?
That is what is that? It's
Gazelle.
Gazelle.
No. It's an onyx. Oryx, sorry.
Oh, poor.
It looks from the side like, see? Another picture with that color in it.
Yeah. Wow.
It's just being pushed on us in cars, in upholstery, in clothing, shoes. You'll see it.
So
Interesting. Not on
the
me.
shades of Sam.
Nor on me.
It's kind of 80s. It goes well with her post.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to show you something else, and you have to look at this. This is for real. This is a plant, and at the bottom it says Crotolieri Cunninghami. It's a plant that grows hummingbirds. They look like little hummingbirds if you want to pass it around.
Oh, no way.
Isn't that unbelievable? You think you know everything.
Right.
That's why I'm on Instagram. I always try to post things that I don't know, that I learn, and I see new things.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That is very, very weird. Huh.
I've never seen anything like that. It's
Yeah.
funny. With the future, it's hard to say. That's why I like this house so much. If you have whites and then you bring in light gray in a sofa,
Yeah.
and then bring rust as a warm and a gray flannel color on pillows, it's very, very, it warms up the whites
Or change, if you have whites, change the pillows by the season.
by the season. I had my son do that with his new place in Paris, and I said, he's on a plane most of his life, and he comes home, know that it's Christmas time, have deep wine berry, red berry pillows on your gray sofa, and in the spring have aqua, and in the summer have orange or whatever, yellow. Isn't that strange?
It's pretty cool.
I think it was rather cool. And then 3 chameleons changing color.
Oh,
I
wow.
like that. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that's great.
My Instagram account, I feel so loyal to giving new people. Are you anyone here on my Instagram account?
I'm on yours. I'm gonna pull it up. What is your handle?
Jeff Lowe, LOW 3.
Guys, anybody have any questions for Jeff? Justin?
I don't know, Jeff. How long have you? I mean, so when did your design? When did you like first realize that that's like this is what I'm gonna do?
In college.
College.
I knew nothing about the field. I had a fraternity brother, and I was rushing this fraternity, and he was in design, and I loved what he was doing. Luckily, he became a very well-known commercial designer of offices for the Oliver Company. I don't know if that's around anymore, but he was stationed in Pittsburgh, and it just got me interested. The professor of interior design did all new buildings at Syracuse. So we had dorms with the greatest new fabrics in it that I personally would never today put into a place because I'm very cognizant of the fact of wear, tear, spills, cigarettes or burns or whatever. And people spill things. And I have a friend, she is widowed and she lives here and she has a home that she just sold and got a condo in Minneapolis. And she wanted all white and except for the art. And the grandchildren are out of the house and having careers. So she said, I'm safe. And she said, but I need something in color to make a statement. So I said, oh, get a turquoise rug at Adler's. You need to go in there if you've never seen it. Ask to see their rugs from India. These rugs are all made from old saris. And if you say it's a red rug, there's yellow, there's orange, there's green, there's blue, little pieces, but it's a work of art. And a medium-sized one costs around $5,000, my price. So they're not unaffordable, but if you have a place up in the sky and it's snowing every place, hey, come around, we'll sit around the pool. It looks like a swimming pool. So that's her statement. And she had a pool party.
Oh,
Fun.
that's funny.
That's great.
But I knew from that moment on, I will tell you very honestly, today, I will accept very few jobs in the future, I think. I'm doing a home, which I don't normally do homes, I do commercial, because I finished offices for the couple, he's a plastic surgeon, and the home is 8,000 square feet on Camelback Mountain. It's the last site available before you take the trail up the back end, the east end. It's all triangular shapes. The architect is great.
Who's the architect?
MC something. He's really good. And I'm doing the interiors, and I put in my hours, but I can't put in passion.
Right.
I've lost the passion. And there's so many people quitting interior design and architecture today because people have been exposed to Pinterest and they want what they see and they can't afford what they want, what they see. And they don't realize that the magic of a good designer is to get them what they want almost, maybe we can save here and spend the money on this, some money on this. You know, there's so many ways to saving. And my reputation has been, oh, it looks like we spent $3 million, but we didn't.
Right.
And I don't see many designers like that. The young designers haven't got the experience.
Was it Mark Candelaria? Was he the architect?
No,
Because he's MC.
yeah, he is MC. No, this man is at the buildings, right on the water.
Waterfront?
Yeah, and he took over the space that I had designed for a clothing store,
Oh,
T,
Right.
years ago, Tess. And I just,
Why did you lose interest?
people don't have the character they had.
Got it.
Their word is not their word, and my word is my word.
Right,
And I kill myself for my clients.
right.
And I told a young designer, do you know how I go to sleep at night? I walk every floor plan in my mind of what I'm doing slowly, and eventually I fall asleep. So then the next day I know where I've fallen asleep. I continue just to make sure that I've done every single thing. Are there outlets where you need them? Are everything?
Yeah.
That's a real designer, I think.
Mhm.
The young designers,
Daily
oh, it's
mode.
5 o'clock, I'm gotta go.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, I totally get it.
look at Amazon being so big. I had horrible results with Amazon. My daughter didn't, but my results are such that I'm not going on there soon again.
Thanks, John.
We'll see you. I have to go too. I
Okay.
have to get my mother to a surgeon.
Ah,
And she just turned 100.
Wow, that's
That's
pretty
great.
awesome.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff.
I'm going to put all the M&Ms that weren't eaten in here and leave them here.
Oh, you don't have to do that.
I don't eat any sweets.
Do you think
so-
Jody would want one of these, Jeff?
Sure, she might
Alright.
very
You think
much
she
like
would- The
that.
diamond one or the blue one?
What are these? So I
Put them on
know.
the back of your phone, and they
Uh-huh.
you can hold them when you take a selfie, and then you can set your phone down, and it's
I
like a
can't open this.
stand.
Just put them in there, would
It's
you?
a stand. Can I take
Appreciate
a
it.
one for man?
No, these are gifts for other people. But I wanted you to for sure have one, because you've been such a great support. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very
Um,
much.
Super. So.
If you have a vase that you can put the lilies in,
Sure.
I'd leave them here.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me see what I've got. Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you. That was great.
And this is pistachio ice cream,
Oh,
and it
wow.
honestly smells.
So
like-
it's not thick.
I don't have fake here.
Oh, my goodness. It's not big. Okay.
No,
I'll
Fig.
look at Pottery Barn.
yeah, but look online.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Oh, God, he just killed them all.
Don't worry, I got it. Yeah, this isn't my first rodeo. I
We got it.
do this. Jeez. So,
All right. Thank
rainbow
you.
colors. Jeff, how you doing, man?
I am so great.
It's nice to see
Are you in real estate now, huh?
I am. I'm still in the bar business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I work at Bourbon and Bones a couple days a week.
Oh, how is that?
It's great.
Is it very expensive, I hear?
It's pretty expensive, yeah, but I mean, what isn't?
AZ isn't.
Well, that depends. What are you drinking?
Yeah, well, I don't drink, so keeps it cheap for me.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
But yes, the
Yes,
food's
thank you very
excellent, and you know, it's.
Oh, there are M&Ms all over.
That's
I
all.
know.
Don't worry
I
about it.
got it.
Okay, off I go. I'm sorry that I have to run, but I'm doing that because
Hey, it is really good to see you.
I could only get her at that point into a,
That's great that your mom's.
that's not gonna hold it.
I know, I've got a vase at home, but I'm gonna go home after this. My dad and brother are visiting, so this will be okay. I'll leave them in here for now. And then. So you wanna
I
go here-
put- wait,
you want
I
your
put-
vase, though, right?
I had, yeah. Well, we can keep it and we'll get together.
Okay, I'll bring it to you.
Okay,
Thank you, Jeff.
thank you.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay,
All right,
wonderful.
great. And Justin, you barely get a chance to say hi to Jeff.
Justin,
Good to see you, bud.
great seeing
Take
you.
care. All right.
Okay, okay.
All right,
And
thanks
I'll
again,
get the
Jeff.
candle.
Okay,
because I'm
super.
on-
Do you need a
Okay.
bag or anything? For
No,
that?
no.
All
I'm
right.
all set.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What's up,
Hey,
Brousseau?
buddy. Let me turn this camera off.
It was all over the place. Like, oops.